Hi, this is Alex, just coming in to do another video, a slight bit of training for another work colleague. Today we have Jacqueline, who's actually filming this for me, who's a new trainee at work. She is and has offered to do some training here today on Excel. It's something a little bit unfamiliar with her, and because of the way that she's answered her questions, being a theorist and a visual person, we're going to take her through three different examples of how to use formulas on Excel. So I'm going to point to the screen now, and hopefully Jacqueline can catch that. We have three different examples that I'm going to step through and show Jacqueline. The first being in column B. With this column, we'd like to actually add all of the numbers from B3 right through to B number 14. I'm going to show Jacqueline manually how to enter the formula, and then I'm going to ask her to try it and have a go as well. So as I mentioned, we'd like to add up the sum of column B3 right down through to column B14. So we've got a tab set up down here in B17 for I'm going to put our totals. So to start off, we actually just very easily type equals first, and then sum, and it gives us this range of formulas that it's already got worked out there. So that gives us a really good start. And then by pressing Shift 9 and creating a bracket, we can then type in the cell number that we want to start off with. So it's capitals is preferred, B and 3. And you can see there that's highlighted, the first cell there, number B3. And then to collect all of that data, we simply put in our two dots, and then we type in the next number, which is B14. So B14, and you can see there that that's highlighted all those numbers. And to close it off, we simply close brackets and press enter. And there we have the total of B3 right down through to B14. So clearly showing you that it's the right formula to collect that out and pull that information together. Now, I might get you to have a go if you don't mind, just so you can try and get your head around that. So we'll start you off again, and remember to click down here on your total.
Equals. Sum.
Yep, that's correct.
Brackets.
Yep. And remember what our first square is?
3.
And we need that semicolon dots.
And B14. B14.
And you can see there it's closed up, taken all that information, and by entering,
okay, cool.
There we have our fresh total of 488. So moving on to the second column, what we're going to get Jacqueline to do in this one is not add up the totals, but to select out certain cells from there to give us just the totals of a number of cells. So I'll show Jacqueline how to do that. And it's very similar. We start off with the equals again, and then sum again. We have a bracket, and this time we're going to start with E3 as our first square, and instead of doing our two dots, we're going to add in a plus sign. Then we're going to select out another square, which this one will use E7, and you can see there that it's highlighted a second, and we'll do one more, add another plus sign in, and we'll go E12. Selected those three cells, in bracket, and simply press enter. If we move that, we can see now that we have the total of those three cells. So again, let me just delete that out of there for you, and we'll get you to do the same thing again if you don't mind. You can choose any three cells that you'd like.
Equals sum brackets.
And remember on column E this time.
E3 plus, plus E5 plus E13, close brackets.
And then we press enter, and bingo, there we have the total for those three numbers that you selected out of that range.
Yep.
And the last one, we're going to do something that Excel already has built into it, which can save you a lot of time if you needed to, for example, get the average of these total numbers. So again, we'll put our square highlighter down there.
I can't see that.
Can't quite
Yeah.
get that.
Okay, cool.
Okay, sorry. And then if we look up here on the top of our Excel spreadsheet, we have a button there which is auto sum. And we can actually click on that, and it gives us some different pre-used or common examples of what you can do. So if we wanted to on those first ones, we could have used sum and it would have told us exactly what we wanted. This one we want to get the average. So what we're going to do is select our first cell using our cursor and go highlight the rest of them. And we can actually take that highlighter down to where we want the answer to be, and the answer should come
Do
up.
you have to do that?
It will come up where the last cell is.
Okay.
Now by going up to our auto sum, excuse me, clicking on that and pressing average, you'll see very quickly that that average pops up
Okay.
in that square there. And we can then, if we want to, click on that, and if we look in our text bar up here, it tells us what that formula actually is. So if we ever wanted to do it again, we know now we just have to write average and select out those squares, which gives us that total in that box where we've displayed it. So
Okay.
I'm going to delete that out of there again.
Okay.
And
So highlight it first.
yeah, so if we highlight it first to where
Down
you
to
want the
last
total
box.
to be,
Yep.
and then we select up there, and you can see the average, and again,
Okay.
bingo.
So how would I use that here?
In what scenario?
If I wanted to add those all up.
Okay, so if you want to delete out
Like
488, you
Yeah.
can then select the first square,
That one?
if
Or
you'd like
down-
to include that,
Oh, no, or down to
anyone's, and highlight the lot
Down
of
to the
them
last
down
number,
to the total
as well.
square. You can then click on that and just
The
go
sum.
sum, and
Oh,
it will
yeah.
give you the same total. And if
So how did we get the equation there? Oh, there.
and then it comes up in there, so you have that access to be able to look at that.
Okay.
So that's a brief
Yep.
rundown
Cool.
of how to look at Excel and work out some very basic and helpful formulas. Thanks very much for your help.